Hello there, it's the Archivist from TradingCardArchives.com. I am back to do another video on trading cards. I've got something pretty cool here. I'm honestly really excited about it. Although I'm going to go ahead and just admit right now, I have not watched any of this anime. I didn't even go on YouTube and watch like a clip. I read the Wikipedia article and I read some other like wikis about it so that I could kind of talk a little bit about it, but I am not an expert on this. So yeah, go ahead and go in the comments and write about how I never saw the show and stuff. That's fine. I didn't see the show. You're right. You're absolutely right. I'm still gonna look at the cards because I still think the cards are awesome. They're made by Big Face Studio. Big Face Studio is, of course, my favorite designer, one of the best designers in China. I think I'll buy anything they make, which is why I have this. Even though I don't know what the show is, I bought it because Big Face Studio made it. So I'm sure the cards are going to be awesome as a result. So I'm not worried at all about this. But before we get too deep into that, I want to go over our favorite cards. I like to keep track of what my favorite cards are during the weekend as I'm filming, just so I can kind of see how things progress and sort of, show off those really awesome cards that we're pulling. So this one has been my favorite card for a long time, and it's going to stay that way. This is an MLR from Cardmon. Cardmon is Kmon's Cardmon Kmon, Pokemon clone. So this is like Pokemon TCG clone. It has gameplay and everything. I don't know the rules yet. I bought a starter kit. We'll get it. We'll translate all the rules and everything. But for now, you can just see that it's like very close to Pokemon style art. There's evolutions, there's stats, all that kind of stuff. So it's a interesting product for sure. Although it's kind of going out of favor now because China has an official release of the Pokemon TCG. They didn't have that up until 2022. So before that, there was no official Chinese language Pokemon TCG. That's why this existed. Now that it's there, this is much less popular. So anyway, sorry. So this was my second favorite card. This came from Kaio Hero Battle, but not Marvel Hero Battle. So a lot of interesting stuff this weekend. This is Legend of Qin. It's a Three Kingdoms historical TCG by Kaio, but using the Hero Battle rules, not using custom rules like the Three Kingdoms one. And that was my second place card, but I'm actually going to retire it because I pulled this during the Gossip Night battle. So I was looking at the Gossip Night cards, and those are male waifu cards. So husbando cards, waifu, but they're men, right? So it's anime men in suggestive clothing and poses and stuff. It's exactly like waifu cards. It's just with anime men. Anyway, this is an LR from it, and I just love the stamped gold on everything. Like, this is such a beautiful foil work on this. And then you've got like this custom refraction in the border. It just looks awesome, I think. So very cool card. They even stamp it on the back. Love it. So that'll be my second place. But look at this. But as you know, I'm always kind of doing weird stuff. So we're going to look at something weird before we look at that. Last time I did this, I was showing you some 3D printer stuff that I had bought, a new filament feeder and things, so you can kind of see what that looks like. This is a totally different thing. This is more just for fun. And there's actually a couple of kind of interesting aspects to this. Let me get it out of here first, just to make sure that everyone can see it. I have to make sure that there's nothing else in it. I think we're okay. Alright, so this is called a Mio Mini Plus. Now, it's a retro handheld console, essentially. So you'll see when we get into it here, but this is basically like a little Game Boy. That's what it looks like. So different from an actual Game Boy, but basically a little Game Boy, right? why did I get this? Well, I'm going to have to be doing a lot of travel and stuff over the next uh, couple months over the holidays. I'm going to be traveling a few times. I got to go. Basically, I'll be sitting in cars and planes for a long time, right? I might not have internet access all the time. I might not be able to, use my preferred method of entertainment, which is reading SCP articles, because you need the internet to do that, right? I actually have an offline version of it now, but it's just more fun to read it on the internet, I think. But this is a retro game console that can play pretty much any game you want. It can. Yes. Sorry, I'm really like disorganized right now. Okay, so the coolest thing here. So a couple of things. I want to talk about this for sure, and we're gonna turn it on and everything. I won't spend too much time on this. 5 total minutes. Most of it will be paused. But this can play every game from, like Atari 2600 because of emulators and stuff, all the way up through PlayStation 1. So it can't play like Nintendo 64 very well. That console is really hard to emulate. But everything up to PlayStation 1, this can play. Now, it doesn't have analog sticks, so you can't play any of the games that require analog sticks, like Ape Escape and stuff. But if the game doesn't require an analog stick, you can play it just fine with this console, right? And so this is going to be my travel console for the next couple of months as I'm traveling and sitting around and stuff. Okay, so yeah, let me go ahead and figure out how this all works and get it set up, and then I'll come back and show you, turn it on and show it to you, okay? But I'm going to pause while I do that, so you don't have to watch me do all that. I'll be right back. Well, I'm back. Unfortunately, I can't show you it right now. I mean, I can show you how it runs, but it doesn't have any games or anything on it yet. So the thing is, this is like an open source type of device, meaning that you can install anything on it, and there's a whole community around it, and there's a separate operating system that the community maintains called Onion OS. And I'm currently installing that with a bunch of games onto a new SD card, not the one they gave me, because the one they gave me is really slow. So I have a really fast SD card that I'm putting it on. And then I'll put it in here. But for now, I mean, you can kind of see the basics of it. Although there are, like I said, there are no games in here right now. So but you can kind of see bright screen. It's actually got Wi-Fi, which is neat because you can get artwork for all the games and things from the internet once you have the ROMs on here. So anyway, yeah. So I'm sorry I can't show it to you right now. I was gonna actually just shut it off. And just let it charge. I don't know what else to do. It's going to be about an hour until those ROMs are fully downloaded, so it's going to be a little while. So we're going to go ahead and just continue this video, and then when those ROMs are, or when that SD card is ready, which probably won't be this video, unfortunately, it'll probably be like the next video we do, but then we can look at that thing. Sorry. You got to see it. Anyway, what's really cool about that, one of the reasons I really wanted to talk about it is because it's also a logistics experiment I was doing. So I have this problem, right? I need something to do while I'm traveling and stuff, and I won't have internet access, and it's going to be like a lot of travel, like, many hours, like 20 plus hours in many cases. And so I need something to do, right? And so I'm sitting around last night thinking about that, and it's like, 10 p.m. or something. We're watching a movie. I can't remember what movie we're watching. But anyway, we're watching a movie. I'm thinking about this. And then I'm like, okay, well, let me go do some research. And then I started researching these kinds of consoles and things and seeing there's so many different ones, right? And then I found a couple videos, I watched some videos, and then this one seemed to be the one that everyone sort of recommended as your first. And I didn't want to, I'm cheap if you know anything about me, so I didn't want to spend very much money. And so this one is only about $80 total, like shipping and everything, right? Uh, from AliExpress, though, that would have taken a couple weeks, and I need it by Tuesday, right? I need Tuesday is the first day I need this. I'm not traveling that day, but I'm doing some boring stuff that day, uh, and so I wanted to see if I could get it, like how quickly I could get it, right? And so I found a vendor on Amazon who's selling it and had it for overnight, and so I set it up to be overnighted at about 11 p.m. and it was on my porch at 7 a.m. I just went to sleep, woke up, and it was there. So yeah, so that's modern logistics are insane, right? That thing just shows up crazy. Okay. Anyway, sorry, enough about that. We'll talk about that when we can. But back to this. So this is Fairy Tale. Uh, you'll notice that tail is Tail. That's what the title is all about here. This word homophone. Uh, it means, sounds the same, and so English is full of words like that. And so this version of tail, Tail, means like, a monkey's tail or a cat's tail, right? The tail of an animal. Whereas really, when you say fairy tale, you use the Tale version, which is like a story, right? It's a fairy story. But this is a homophone, which is tail and tail, right? So they're making kind of a pun on it and calling it fairy tale. Anyway, it's I just like that because a lot of people complain that English is very hard to learn, and they're right. That's why, like a lot of English just has words that sound exactly the same with totally different meanings. That doesn't really happen often in phonetic languages like Chinese and Japanese. The sounds are so different between the different letters that it's pretty rare to find a homophone in those languages. It does happen, but it's rare. Whereas in English, it's like every sentence you're going to find one. It makes it really hard. Anyway, okay, so fairy tale. So this is an anime. It was a manga first. Had about again, I didn't watch this. I only read the Wikipedia article. I said that already, so don't blame me. But I read the wiki said it had like three different seasons that ran, but the last one kind of ended in 2013, 2017, something like that. So it's an older show for sure, an older manga as well, but I guess still popular enough that they make this set. And this is a new set. This isn't old. This is Big Face Studios' newest set, so this is their latest release. Why don't we do 3 packs and the hit, and that'll be good for now, and I'll put the rest away for later. This is also a new box style for Big Face Studio. They have used a different box style for every single product except Fate Stay Night and Tokyo Ghoul. That used the same box. But everything else has had completely different box styles, and this one is, unique again. It's magnetic, but it's small. I've never seen it before. It's kind of unique to them. All right, so here's our cards. Like I said, we're going to open all of these, so we'll take a look at all the cards in here and see what they are. This is Fairy Tale by Big Face Studios, and it's their newest set. And just like all their other sets, it's looks amazing to begin with. I mean, the cards just feel great. Like they have such an awesome feel to them. It's almost like they're plastic and not cardboard. I mean, I think they are cardboard, but it really has a very unique feel, Big Face Studio cards, which I think is one of the biggest draws. And then you've got this almost like enamel style foiling on it that is amazing. And then graphic design wise, also awesome. And that's just an SSR. So that's probably a base card in the set if I had to guess, because usually their base is SSR. Whereas this is an MR, so a little bit higher up on the tier level. And yeah, got a very cool comic book style to it, and also some real subtle foil elements like on her arm there. That's very typical of Big Face Studio. They tend to do a lot of very subtle foil work to bring out their artwork, and they do an awesome job of it. It's kind of the main reason that I really, really, really like what they do. And I'm already sold on this set. This set's awesome. I'm already convinced. Like it's very good. So this is an HR rarity card. And I know this looks weird, but this is actually a cover. So this is a cover of one of the manga. So I guess maybe it was 19. I don't know for sure which manga, but that's all of the manga covers look like this. They have fairy tale up there and then a little bit of a fantasy drawing there. It's a real fantasy show, like dragons, medieval knights, that kind of thing. But then it's also anime, right? So it's got funny elements too. But there's like dragons and the main character, his adopted father is literally a dragon. So like, it's that kind of a thing. Very much fantasy, high fantasy sort of thing. Oh my, we are getting some interesting cards here. So these SSRs are slick. They all, I guess, have this kind of style. They look great. Like they look so good. I'm really impressed. And so then we got a backwards card here. And it is a LP. Nice. So that has like a chrome finish to it. It's very slight curve to that. So when they put the chrome on it like this, it curves them. And so this has a real slight curve, but otherwise a pretty good hit there. And remember, that's only 2 packs so far, and we're basically 3 base and 3 hits, so a pretty good distribution for Big Face as well. They usually are not this kind. I'm really glad they are. Take a look here. Ooh, there's a different color. Okay, so you can get a green as well. How awesome. I mean, again, Big Face just made a great set here. Like, if you just like trading cards, these are great. Like, look at that foiling on there. It's beautiful. Awesome stuff. Here's another MR. So that's, similar to this one. And then we've got another HR, which is, again, these are the covers of the manga. Weirdly, this one is not marked at all. I am... Oh, there it is. It's HR11. Oh God, it's in like red ink on the. It gets really hard to see. Okay, but it is there. Those are neat. They're all cool. I like all these. Let's take a look at the hit pack too, and then yeah, we'll be done. And again, I'm sorry I couldn't show you the rest of that game system right now. I probably will be able to in the next, no, maybe 2 more videos, because it says there's 50 minutes left on the copying. So I have to copy from their very slow SD card that they gave me. I have to copy everything off that onto the fast SD card that I have. And so even though mine's really fast, theirs is so slow that it's taken like an hour to copy it, even though, it would probably only take a couple minutes if it was both for fast cards. Okay, this is going to be awesome. So it's numbered. It's heavy. It's got a kind of, yeah, glass cover to it. Wow, okay. So this looks very similar to, One Piece always has these kind of wanted poster style cards. So this obviously isn't One Piece, but that's out of 259. This reminds me a lot of the Sailor Moon URs in the set that I like, because they have this kind of curved glass cover on them like that, and it looks awesome. So okay, so there's Fairy Tale for you. Big Face Studios' latest release. I'm impressed. They did an awesome job, and I will stand by my claim. If Big Face Studio makes a product, I will buy that product because they have not failed me yet, and that that continues to hold here. So very, very happy with this. Good job, Big Face Studio, and yeah, I mean, I might get another box. It's really good. I don't know. Well, let me know in the comments if you like this and you think this is something you would want in a giveaway. Let me know, and I'll buy another box and get it set up for the next giveaway. But for now, I'll stop the video here and move on to, I don't know. I'll find something cool to do. I'll do a cool video next, I promise. Bye-bye.